There's guys that can push through pain, and then there's wrestlers. There's another level of mental strength, of the ability to endure. And what you were talking about going through when you were a kid, like being malnourished and fucking, traveling on buses and wherever the hell you're going to these different wrestling meets not getting enough sleep, and how difficult, and you had to do schoolwork as well, and how difficult all that is. That the mental toughness that wrestlers develop from that ridiculous, first of all, from fucking cutting weight all the time, just to be able to, people like to feel good when they compete. They like to feel good.
You talk about how hard the weight cut is, and for us, for our sport of MMA, it's a 24-hour weigh-in. I mean, you weigh in, the show starts 24 hours later. In wrestling, it's a 1-hour weigh-in. And not only that, Joe, the national tournament, the whole reason you wrestle, is a 3-day tournament with 3 weigh-ins. So you weigh in, you do 2 matches, you cut weight that night, you weigh in again, you do 2 matches, you cut weight that night, you come back for the championship. So so I mean, you're talking guys that aren't sleeping, they're cut weight nonstop, boom, time to wrestle. I mean, how do you do it? And it really is where the rubber meets the road. Sometimes the best wrestler, often that had the best season, 35-0, will not even place at the national tournament because where he used to weigh in, have 24 hours, get on the mat, he'd win a dual meet. Tournament style, 1-hour weigh-in, you're on the mat, next morning, weigh in again.
I've still to this day never done anything harder than wrestling, even with all the aspects of martial arts and fighting. Like, fighting to me it's a lot easier than a grind of a wrestling season. I wrestled at Cal State Fullerton, where we started way too early. Like I said, I overworked myself and pushed through a 9-month season, being completely strict on everything, my diet, I'm not going out and having fun with my friends because I'm wrestling, and then wrestling every weekend, and just such a hard practice. Like, still today, we do 2 days a week of wrestling practice. Like, damn it, I don't want to go to wrestling.
Yeah. Wrestling. I used to love wrestling.
Timing and finishes are just second to none, man. There's not many guys that actually can see a takedown like George St. Pierre. To the double leg, and he finishes through strong angles. He's got the ability to get back off to the backside, far side, using his head going across. He also does a good job of running you over your near side hip, which is not easy to do. So it's his angles, man. He never tries to drive right through you, right? He hits you, lifts you, and he drops you. A very big thing in wrestling is when you watch a guy take a shot, right? And they finish, and it's almost like a circle, right? It's like, I take a shot into this plate. Like, I shoot here, and I finish in this range. That means that I know what I'm doing. Because some guys will go here, take a shot, and they'll go big circle all around the plate. No good. I want to take it out, shot here, take you across to finish. Shot here, take you across to finish. Run you over here, circle you back on the far side. So that's me, double leg across, high crotch, run the pike. For me, if I can finish every one of my shots in the same spot that I hit it, then I'm winning. Because that means that I hit my shot, I ran the plank and cracked the guy down, and he fell right where my feet were before. That's perfect. That's an ideal takedown.
Is there a benefit to having wrestling shoes on, though? Because you're not going to fight with them on.
Your defense will become way better if you wear shoes. So it's so much easier to get out of a takedown without it. You can't, like, a single leg, you should not get taken down on a single leg in MMA. If you do, it's so easy to slide your leg out on a single leg. But with a wrestling shoe on, I can't just go to that easy defense. I have to use my hips. I have to cover his head. I have to use all these positions to have a better defense with my shoes on. So if I'm wrestling against a kid that I know is coming in from like a college and he's really good, I am not wearing shoes. I don't care. I'm not going to wear shoes. Like Chad Mendez, like one of the best wrestlers in the world. At practice, he'll never ever wear shoes now. He doesn't. His defense is ridiculous. He just pushes you off his leg. Like, the way he'll stand now too is because he'll only let you shoot a single leg because he knows how easy it is to get out of it. And he'll never ever wear shoes again wrestling ever since grappling.
I don't believe the single leg exists in MMA. Whenever I teach it, I give a guy my leg. I get all my guys around. They're sitting down. They're watching me in the middle show technique. I give a guy my leg, and I ask the group, does this guy have my leg? And they all say yes. And I say, well, look again. Does he have my leg? And they say yes. I say, look again. Does he have my leg, or do I have both of his hands? And then that's where people start to understand a single leg, you don't want a single leg. I'd gladly start a fight allowing the guy to have a single. And the other thing is, it's a lot of energy to use a takedown. If you go out and you fight hard for a takedown and the opponent pops back up, well, now your batteries run down and here you are back in battle. In wrestling, you would usually get some time to work. You're just trained to have that breather. So it's a really big deal for the kind of wrestler that's going to do well in a combat style event like MMA is one that can explode through, doesn't need to spend time on the mat, hit his opponent, get him off his feet, and get on top quickly.
With his hands down, Joe. And shot. This is where Chael Sonnen shines. Anderson. Anderson's ignited. And he's down again. Takes him down again. Chael pushes forward again. He's got him down again. Can he keep him down, though? Chael's got him over. Reversal.